and welcome to Mcallen in Deep South Texas, the city of palms. Tonight it's District 31 5A action here on Football Night at Mcallen. We're bringing to you the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs and the Weslaco East Wildcats. Both teams tied for third place as they round the final turn in the race for the 2013 playoffs. It's all coming your way next here on Football Night in Mcallen. Here we are at Mcallen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Tonight's Football Night in Mcallen is coming your way, and it's featuring the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs going up against the Weslaco East Wildcats. Both teams tied for third in the district race with 3 games to go. So tonight's matchup is pivotal in terms of determining the final playoff picture. With me as always is Mario Reyna. I'm Mark May, and Mario, I guess we take a look at the keys to this game. We got to start with the ground game for both these squads.
The ground game, absolutely. Both teams have had success in their games where they won. It was all about run. And why not when you have the district leading rusher in Trevor Spates here tonight for the Mustangs, and then you have Saul Cuellar for the Wildcats.
Yeah, both top-notch runners. And then how about the on defense? What are we looking at there?
Well, since both teams come in here with identical records, you're looking at the defense. Which defense will make the big play? A big stop at the right time of the game or a turnover?
And both of them ranked about the same, I think, in defense. And then looking at special teams, that's always a key.
Well, special teams, especially coaches will tell you when you have 2 teams that are going to fight it out and it's very evenly matched, one big play by the special teams, another turnover or a touchdown can make the big difference in this game.
Yeah, 3 big keys right there that we'll be keeping an eye on in this game. And let's go back and expand just a little bit on the running game, talking about Spates and Cuellar, the 2 big the guys that carry the load for both of these offenses.
And everybody in District 31 5A, they know about them. I mean, Trevor Spates has been amazing. He's a Division I prospect. And Saul Cuellar comes in here. Actually, he has more rushing attempts than any running back in this district.
Yeah, he's the 3rd district running. I think they've combined for like 25 touchdowns. So I guess the key will be if one team can stop the other guy's main guy, there's a good chance that they can win.
It. And then one thing for us to look at is the fact that last week the Wildcats last 2 Weslaco Panthers in a big emotional game, 35-21. They better get over it real quick because the Mustangs have won 3 in a row, and in the last 3 games the Mustangs have averaged 53 points per game.
That's true. They've gotten over 60 2 of the last 3, so Memorial is definitely an offensive juggernaut right now. We'll see how Weslaco East is able to handle that. It's all coming your way next. We'll continue on our pregame show in just a moment. You're watching Football Night in Mcallen on MITV. And here we are at Mcallen Veterans Memorial Stadium, and you can see the Mcallen Memorial Mustangs right there lined up, and some of the cheerleaders in the foreground, and fans still filing into the stadium for tonight's District 31 5A matchup between 2 teams with identical records, but heading in opposite directions right now. As Mario Reyna alluded to, the Mustangs have won 3 consecutive games, and the Wildcats are coming in off a loss. And we'll get to that in a moment as teams are getting ready for the national anthem. You can see the Wildcats lined up on the goal line right now. And, of course, their goal is to pull out a win tonight, and whoever wins will have sole possession of 3rd place in the district. Both of them trailing Mcallen High School and the Weslaco Panthers in district play right now. We'll have the standings for you in just a moment, but first we have our national anthem here at Mcallen Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Mcallen Memorial JROTC is at midfield. They are affiliated with the United States Marine Corps, and they're out there now. So let's stay tuned for our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the
There we go. A wonderful job there by a member of the Mcallen Memorial High School Choir under the direction of Mr. Omar Samaniego. They do an excellent job here. And the Wildcats, you can see, are 4-3. Mcallen Memorial 4-3. Most importantly are the one-loss records in gold there, where they're both 3-2 in the district, and that's how they determine the district standings. So let's take a quick look at the, as you see, the color guard right there. We want to thank them, affiliated with the United States Marine Corps. They do an excellent job. Colonel Longoria and First Sergeant Roman Rodriguez, the instructors there at Memorial High School. And see if we can take a look at the standings for District 31-5A, where we have a tie at the top of the district standings. It's Mcallen High School and the Weslaco High Panthers, who are both tied at 5-0. If you look over there in the right-hand column, that's the district standings that determine who goes and who stays. And Mackay Weslaco both at 5-0. And those two teams are actually playing tonight, so we'll try to get updates on that game for you. Weslaco East and Mcallen Memorial are tied for third right now, both at 3-2. And so both of them on track for the playoffs, but a loss here will certainly derail one of those two teams, and then San Benito or PSJA might be able to jump in there. So we take a look at the team leaders right now. You can see Mcallen Memorial, their vaunted running game. They are first in the district, over 300 yards. The Wildcats not too bad at fourth overall. Neither one relies on the pass very much, and Memorial getting about 100 yards more per game in offense. On defense, they are about even. Memorial fourth overall, and the Wildcats fifth overall. So it looks like Memorial a little bit stronger with their running game coming into tonight, and of course they also have the home field edge. But you never know when you get into these kind of things. You take a look at the remaining schedule for the Mustangs after tonight. They've got their big game against the Mcallen Bulldogs. They'll technically be the visiting team for that, and they finish up on a Thursday night against the PSJA Bears on November 7th. Weslaco East has a home game after this one against PSJA Memorial's Wolverines, and then a home game that we'll have for you here on football night at Mcallen, the Weslaco East Wildcats against the Nicky Rowe Warriors, and a game that could decide a playoff spot. Yeah, that'll be the last game of the season, the regular season. You see, last week Weslaco East, they're coming off a loss to Weslaco, their cross-city rival, 35-21. Mcallen Memorial beat PSJA North 61-15. And if we take a look at the scores for Mcallen Memorial from this season, you'll see that they have really turned it up offensively in recent weeks as part of their three-game win streak that they have going here. Mcallen Memorial this season, you saw open up with the win over Edinburgh, then took three losses in a row, and now they've righted the ship and won three straight. 68-10 over Far Memorial. They got 35 on Rowe. That was an overtime win. And PSJA North, they got 61 on also, and Trevor Spades with over 200 yards rushing in that game. Weslaco East, you can see they've kind of been up and down, one loss, and then a two-game win streak over the Bears and the Greyhounds before losing to the Panthers last week by 14 points. So we'll see what kind of offense Weslaco East can generate in this game now. As you can see, we're about ready for kickoff. The Mustangs will receive and will be advancing from the south to the north, which will be right to left as you look at the screen. And Mcallen Memorial, of course, wearing their home navy jerseys with the gold numerals and the white pants and the sky blue helmets. And you can see Weslaco East is wearing white jerseys with the black shoulders and the black helmets and the black pants. They're the black and white and silver going up against the gold, blue, and white. And here's Mcallen Memorial with a big kickoff return out past the 30, across the 35 even, and a terrific return there for Memorial's Ozzy Salazar. And Memorial will have excellent field position as we start this game.
And a good tackle right there by Jesus Espinosa for the Wildcats. And Mark, you're going to see these offenses are very similar. I was looking at them in the pregame warm-ups, Mark, very similar. So you take a look at the starters.
Yeah, big star the Mustangs. We have Spates and DJ Johnson also is a receiving threat, and of course a big beefy offensive line there for Mcallen Memorial that has been intact all season long. So we have a flag before the first snap of the game. A false start there for Memorial that'll cost them 5 yards. It's a fairly young offensive line too. Two of the starters on the offensive line are seniors. Then they have two juniors and a sophomore. So 3 of the 5 coming back next year. As the first play from scrimmage, Memorial will toss it right. This is Spates running across the 40 and still fighting his way up across midfield up to about the 49. Looks like he picked up 14 of the 15 yards they needed for the first down. An auspicious beginning there for the very first play of
the game. Trevor Spates already sending a message to that Wildcat defense. It's not going to take one or not even maybe 2 defenders to bring him down. Simple pitch to the right, and Trevor Spates refusing to go down. He looked like he was down there, and 3 or 4 defensive players hanging on to him. He continued to run.
And here's a handoff to the fullback, Joel Alonso. And he has big yardage from Moore. 40, not the 30. Now a race down the right sideline. And he's going to outrun the defense for a touchdown. And on the second play from scrimmage, the Mustangs are on the board. How about that? Joel Alonso, a 49-yard burst for pay dirt.
The right offensive lineman on the right side. What a tremendous job they did on that. You're looking at Thomas Rodriguez, Eduardo Pequeño, Andrew Vidal, and the center, Anthony Esparza.
Mustangs on the board. Here's the extra point try, up and good. 11:06 to play in the game. We're not even a minute in. It's Mcallen Memorial 7, Weslaco East nothing. We'll take a quick break and leave you with a look at the touchdown run here by Joel Alonso. You're watching Football Night in Mcallen on MITV.
Great run we had right there by Alonso, and that's what happens when the defense starts to key in on Trevor Spates, and you don't fault them for that, but give credit to Alonso on the replay. Alonso did break a tackle. They had an opportunity to bring him down after about 10 yards, and he refused to go down, and he runs just as good as his brother that was also a running back with the Mustangs last year, Gabe Alonso.
Well, that's right. Gabe Alonso, a senior from last year, is pretty good in the Mustang backfield. And, Alonso doing a really good job of outrunning the defense on that play after he broke that tackle. There was another player who seemed to have an angle on him to push him out of bounds. But Alonso just turned on those afterburners and got into the end zone unscathed. And it's Memorial 7, Weslaco East nothing. 54 seconds into the game, and Memorial will now be kicking off. Weslaco East will be moving from left to right. And seeing ready to kick it will be Jesus Flores, a junior kicker. And this is going to be high, a little bit short, going to take a bounce at the 15-yard line, then it goes out of bounds. So good play there by Weslaco East to let that ball bounce and then go out, and it'll come out to the 30-yard line. So Memorial is up 7-0 here after a 2-play, 63-yard drive. I believe that's referee Mike Buck and his crew, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mike Buck, veteran official that's called many big ball games in the Rio Grande Valley football. It looks like we're going to have another kickoff. Coach Burgett from the Wildcats decided to do this all over again.
He's going to move him back 5 yards from the 40 back to the 35. Yeah, you don't see this as often anymore. Teams kicking it off again. Usually teams are content to take it at the 30-yard line. So Memorial will kick off once more. It'll be Jesus Flores.
Mark, in 2 plays and you already have a touchdown. We can see why this Mustang offense is coming in here very hot.
You saw back to receive for Weslaco East was 21, Ricky Amadas. And here's a nice longer kick. This is going to be fielded at about the 12-yard line. That looks like Amadas across the 20, big hole at the 30, still going across the 40-yard line and up to about the 42. So an excellent return there for Weslaco East and a good call by their coach, Mike Burgett.
Mike Burgett making the right call there. They gained actually about close to 20 yards by making the Mustangs kick off again.
So 1st and 10 for Weslaco East at their own 42-yard line. So we take a look at the Wildcats starting offense. Darren Rivas is the quarterback. He's a junior. Their tailback is Saul Cuellar. He's 3rd in the district in rushing. And then they got the big offensive line there made up of 3 juniors and 2 seniors, led by Jerry Decanini at center.
Decanini. Good pronunciation there, Mark.
Oh, thank you.
Did you learn that in your communication classes?
No, I learned that from one of the assistant coaches, and I asked him before the game, how do you pronounce this kid's name?
Well, thanks for that tip.
Yep.
Now I know how you do it.
That's the big secret. You don't ask the head coach those mundane questions because he's got too much to do and think about. So usually go up to one of the assistant coaches or even one of the trainers, and they can help you out on those pronunciations. So here we go, 1st and 10. And here they're going to hand it off right side, and this is Saul Cuellar. This is what you're going to be hearing his name a lot as he goes across the 50 into Mustang territory just barely at about the 49-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard pickup there for Cuellar as we take a look at the Mustang defense. And you can see led there by Torres, Falcon, Ojeda, and Calderon on the defensive line. And linebacker Orly Cortez is a new starter there on the linebacker spot. And Jesse Ozuna there at cornerback, used to be linebacker, now playing in the corner spot. So a couple of changes there in the Mustang defense. Of course, led by Nick Marriott. You see his name in the middle at the free safety, and Marriott the leading tackler on this Mustang team. And here they're going to run this on 2nd down, and that's quarterback Rivas going to his left. And he has pretty good yardage. He's a pretty good running quarterback and takes it all the way up to the Mustang 42. You saw him fake it to Cuellar.
Nice fake right there to Cuellar. And you always have to use your best running back as a decoy. And we already have a score in Weslaco with the Mcallen Bulldogs leading 7-0. So right now the Mcallen schools are up 14-0 on the Weslaco schools since the Mustangs are up here 7-0.
We're just 2 minutes into this game as the Mustangs had a 2-play 63-yard drive. Noel Alonso 49-yard run for a touchdown, and now Weslaco East on their first possession. Rivas wants to throw, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
And you can't fault Rivas for that. Excellent throw by Rivas. The Mustangs right away probably a little surprised that they're actually throwing the ball. Ozzy Salazar there on that defensive play. Mark, you're going to be looking at the Wildcats. They will run and throw at you a lot of multiple sets. As we're taking a look at the replay, it was an excellent throw by Rivas. But the Wildcats will run multiple offenses and formations. They set up all over the place. They'll send out trips. Like in this play, they have a bunch, and they're going to have to call a timeout, a little confusion. But that's what the Wildcats are going to do. They're going to have multiple formations. They'll throw a lot of man in motion, and they'll just try to confuse you. They don't throw the ball much, but throwing the ball early will tell you that what they're trying to do is kind of open up the ground game.
Yeah, both these teams definitely rely on the ground, and we see both of them early using their workhorse running backs. We've seen them carry the ball, but we've also seen them using them as decoys as well.
And that does a lot for the offenses, and it puts the defenses on their toes, Mark, because now what do? If you're only going to key on Trevor Spates, and you already saw what Alonso did, and we also know that quarterback, young sophomore Jonathan Sanchez is coming into his own. He was kind of thrown into the starting role early in the season when the projected starter went down in scrimmages. But lately, Jonathan Sanchez coming into his own, and that all but helps out the offense.
You see the Mustang cheerleaders there on the sideline. You can see the pink ribbons in their hair. It is October, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You see the Mustang players there wearing the pink socks as Rivas out of the shotgun will roll to his left, and this pass is complete. That's Tommy Maldonado, picks up a first down inside the Mustang 30-yard line. And it's another first down, and Weslaco East using the pass a little bit more than we expected here.
And Tommy Maldonado on that reception is a very good athlete. He was also listed as a starter on a rollout against his throwing motion. Rivas putting the ball right between the numbers. Excellent throw, excellent catch. The element of surprise, throwing early.
We'll see how the Mustang secondary is able to cope with that. Yeah, 1st and 10, right at the 30-yard line. In the shotgun is Rivas. He fakes the handoff to Cuellar, keeps it sweep to the left side. Big hole at the 20, breaks a tackle at the 10, and Rivas is in for the touchdown. And Weslaco East, just like that, is just an extra point away from tying up this game.
When we take a look at the replay, that fake by Darren Rivas. Excellent fake on a handoff. Excellent read on his part to find the open hole. And he gets himself a touchdown.
The drive took less than 2 minutes. As Rivas, the quarterback, will be the holder, and he holds it here. The extra point is up, and it is good. Hector Martinez with the extra point. The score, Memorial 7, Weslaco East 7. 9 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. This looks like it could be another high-scoring affair as we take another look at this replay. You saw Rivas with the fake and picked up a nice block downfield by one of his teammates, number 75, Jason Velasco.
A rare missed tackle by Nick Marriott, who has had great games. He just didn't get the right angle on that play. But I guarantee you, we'll be calling his name a lot as the game goes on.
Oh, yep, both teams 7-7 now. Both teams have held serve on their first possessions. Weslaco East now will be kicking off to Mcallen Memorial. Here we see there number 15, Alvaro Rocha, junior defensive back, trotting out there on the kickoff return team. And there's Coach Bill Littleton.
And Mark, now we're in week 8. These teams know the strengths from each team, and they see the film over and over, and you talk about it at practice, and yet, you gotta execute. You gotta execute.
They're back to receive the kickoff is 21, Trevor Spates.
I don't
Spates
expect the
everywhere.
ball to go that way, Mark.
They're going to kick this, drifting a little bit left, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. That looks like Salazar coming out to the 20, picks up a block at the 25, and then finds his way up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down by Weslaco East defender Martin Silva. So a good return there by Salazar, who's had 2 good kickoff returns here in this game.
And when we take a look at the Memorial offense, it's very simple, Mark. You have most of their players will be within the box. And the Wildcat defense, we're looking at a 4-4 defense.
Yeah, they're one of the few teams that play that. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers with only 3 defensive backs. And, of course, that's a good defense to run against a strong running team. Here's Spates, tossed left, breaks a tackle, and looks like he has the first down going up across the 40-yard line. So another good return or run there by Trevor Spates, the number 1 rusher in the district. As we take a look at Weslaco East starters, Memorial's last drive was only 2 plays, so we didn't have a chance to give you this, but there's the 4 down linemen, there's the 4 linebackers led by Jesse Segura, and then the 3 men in the backfield. Tommy Maldonado, the cornerback, a 2-way starter on offense and defense. Something you don't see very often in Class 5A. Memorial up to the 41-yard line after a 12-yard run by Spates. They're going to toss it left side. This is Spates cutting it back in and up to the 45 and to about the 46-yard line before he's brought down by Gilbert Urdina, a linebacker.
And even on plays where Trevor Spates doesn't look like he did a good job on it, he still got 5 yards. And what makes Trevor Spates a difficult running back is that not only he has a lot of speed where he can break it outside, he has a good vision. He's capable of just making the right decision at the right time.
So here the Mustangs on 2nd and 5. 8:13 to play first quarter. We're 7-7. Toss right to Spates. Picks up a block from Alonso. Block from the quarterback. Gets to the corner and breaks a tackle. Now he's gone. Down the left sideline. And Spates is going to score. Just like that. It looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage. He breaks a tackle. Puts on a burst. And Spates takes it to the house. 54 yards.
And there's no way that anybody's going to bring Trevor Spates down by yourself. Most of the times he's very capable. Everybody thinks he's all about speed and quickness, but he is a very strong runner.
David Almadas to attempt the extra point. It's high enough, long enough, and good. He's 2 for 2. Memorial 14, Weslaco East 7, and with 7:59 to play here in the first quarter. We've already got 3 touchdowns in the books as we take a look at a beauty here by Spates. 54 yards for his 16th touchdown of the year.
One of the things on that run that I noticed, Mark, is that he likes to dip, and just a simple dip, like he's going to run inside. He probably puts the defenders on halt, and then all of a sudden he just knows that he's going to be open to the right. You've got to keep Trevor Spates close to those hash marks. Once he gets outside, close to the end lines, there's no way. I mean, he's just so tough. Marcus Kaufman, you can tell that he's happy. I mean, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, probably telling the players, see what happens when you listen to me and you execute, the game becomes very easy. What a difference between this game and we saw the Mustangs early on in the year against the Bobcats when I think Trevor Spates was held under 60 yards rushing. As we take a look at Trevor.
It's got to get winded at some point, doesn't it?
Get ready to kick off for the Mustangs is Jesus Flores.
Here's the kickoff. It's high, and this one goes into the end zone and picked up there by Weslaco East, and they'll down it for a touchback and bring it out to the 20. That was the 21, Ricky Amadas, who thought better of bringing that out, and an excellent kickoff there by Flores.
And a good decision by Ricky Amadas after you dropped the ball in the end zone on a kickoff, and by the time he would have picked it up, I don't think they would have brought that ball past maybe the 15-yard line. So a good decision as the Wildcats take over on their 25-yard line.
We've got 7:59 to play first quarter. 21 points by both these teams already. Here's the shotgun snap to Rivas. He'll hand it off to Cuellar, trying to get around the left side, and crosses the 30 and fights his way up. Looks like he has the first down before he's tackled there by a couple of Mustangs. But Weslaco East moves the chains.
It's just a simple call on offense by the Wildcats. So just give it to your best running back, see what he can do. And he did an excellent job of taking the ball all the way to the close to the end line, and a quick 10-plus yards, another first down.
Yeah,
the Mustang defense is struggling so far.
13 yards there for Cuellar, who came into tonight with 829 yards. Third leading rusher in the district. And here they fake it to Cuellar this time, and Rivas wants to keep it. It crosses the 40 up near the 45-yard line before he's brought down by the Mustangs defensive tackle, Henry Falcon.
Falcon is one kid that we've called out his name on many occasions. That multiple offense by the Wildcats, it creates havoc for the defense because there's lots of motion and who's going to get the carry and all these fakes. And once you run it to perfection mark, it's very difficult to stop.
2nd down and 4 now for Weslaco East. And Cuellar will line up in a pistol formation with Rivas. They give it to Cuellar straight ahead and fights his way up to about the 48 before he's brought down by Lucas Rios and Falcon. And looks like he has enough for the first down. And now Mustangs want a timeout.
And Lucas Rios on that tackle, a junior, has had a fabulous year for the Mustangs this year.
So we take a look at this play once again. Cuellar just straight ahead before he's pulled down, gets up to the 48-yard line and has just enough for the first down. As the Mustangs take their first time out, they want to maybe make some adjustments here defensively. See if we can listen in to Coach Littleton.
Got to play up front. Here we go. 31.
Yeah, great audio there. Listening to Coach Littleton, getting them, seemed like he was giving them more of a pep talk than any kind of tactical change.
And an excellent call there by Coach Littleton, just kind of trying to change the tempo of the game. But on that last possession there, Derek Gria on the tackle. And we'll take a look at here in the next couple of possessions to see that timeout kind of settle down that Mustang defense was having troubles.
6:48 to go first quarter. Memorial up 14-7 over Weslaco East. And now the new quarterback in there throws this one long, intended for Maldonado, who wasn't even looking for the ball. And it goes incomplete. And they used Gabriel Santillan, that quarterback in there. They have two quarterbacks, Rivas, number 5, and Santillan, number 9.
Mark, and actually, we take a look at the replay. Rivas went out on the pass pattern, and he was all by himself. I don't know if we'll be able to take a look at the replay, but Rivas on the other side was all by himself. If they would have thrown the ball to Rivas, he would have had a touchdown easily.
Yeah, Rivas, you could just barely see there in that replay. It was over the middle open, and Maldonado appeared to be open too. Mustangs have 4 down linemen as it's 2nd and 10 now. They'll hand this off. Cuellar to the right side, has a hole there. Oh, he's tripped up. Just as it looked like he might be running to daylight, Ozzy Salazar caught his ankle there and held him to a short gain, although there is a flag down. Good play there by the sophomore cornerback, Ozzy Salazar.
Holding. Number 6, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat something down.
And we had a holding call there, Mark, and the other, something new with the referees, and I think I don't like the rule, and it's that they actually call out the number on the infraction. You take a look at the replay, simple handoff to Cuellar, and you can take a look at the holding. Marriott was actually being held. But Mark, I don't like that rule because the only time when the offensive linemen commit this infraction, that's the only time they get their names called out, only when they commit a negative play. So don't like the rule, but they're using the same rule that is being used in college football.
And it looks like it was a spot hold, so it was only a net loss of 5 yards. It's 2nd down and 16 as Rivas trying to go around the wide side, the left side of the field, and Mustangs string that out beautifully. It looks like Cody Stites in there, and also the safety Michael Garza, number 20, doing a good job there to keep the Rivas from finding any place to run.
And I think that was the best defensive play for the Mustangs. You're right, Mark. There was a lot of containment on that play. Nobody committed to the fakes. Rivas put in 1, 2 fakes, but the Mustangs didn't bite.
Here's something interesting, Mario. After 4 possessions combined by these two teams, we now have our first 3rd down of the game. That's how lightning quick these two offenses have been. 3rd down and 14 at the East 45. And Rivas wants to throw. Looks like a middle screen. He's got that set up at the 50. Running into Mustang territory. 40. 1st down and more. Breaks a tackle. Now going at the 30. And finally pulled down from behind by the Mustangs. Number 42, Sam Hinojosa. Looked like he came in there and saved the touchdown.
And what a perfect call by the Wildcat offensive coordinator coach to Gilbert Urbina. But that was a perfect call. Perfect setup. Rivas did a good job of allowing the defenders to attack him, and that's what the screen is all about. And he also broke a tackle. Boy, tonight we've seen about 4 or 5 broken tackles already.
And Sam Hinojosa, the sophomore linebacker, coming in there. Hinojosa is kind of subbing and switching series with Orly Cortez at the strong linebacker spot. And so you'll see both of them in there throughout this game as Weslaco East on 1st and 10 at the Memorial 21-yard line will run this one to the left side and pick up good yardage there up to about the 15.
That is Coach Burgett giving out the instructions to his quarterback, Darren Rivas. Well, both offenses so far, something we talked about, the keys to the game, Mark, the ground game, the run, and which defense was going to step up to the plate and make the big play, either causing a turnover or at least stopping a possession.
So now a timeout is called. Timeout by Weslaco East on a 2nd and 3 situation with over 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. East has used 2 of their timeouts here early on. Let's take a quick break. You're watching Football Night at Mcallen right here on Mcallen Instructional Television. Back here at Mcallen Veterans Memorial Stadium, opened in 1976, and has seen many an exciting game, and this looks like it could be one of those as we've got 21 points combined here in the first quarter, and Weslaco East is threatening again. East with a 2nd and 3 at the Mustang 14-yard line. Go to Cuellar on a toss left. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and fighting his way forward. It's hit by Marriott and also the safety Garza, and it looks like he's close to the 1st down, but not much more.
And in that possession, the Wildcats actually overloaded the left side, put in 2 receivers on the left side and a tight end, and it's a simple student body left. Let's see what Cuellar can do. And it'll be a 3rd and 1 at the 12-yard line for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak here by Rivas. Gets that and more, and is hit at the 5. Fights his way up to the 4-yard line before the safety Garza, who's had a busy night already, brings him down. Your quarterback sneak usually is good for a yard, and they picked up 8 on this quarterback sneak. Good block there by 73, the guard Armando Martinez.
Pretty tough running by Rivas.
6 first downs in this first quarter for Weslaco East. They have a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line in Mustang territory. They got an unbalanced line to the left. They go over left guard. Cuellar in for the touchdown. And Cuellar just knifes his way in for his 11th touchdown of the season. And Weslaco East has scored on both their possessions, and they can hit this extra point. We'll be tied once more.
And Mark, this game looks like maybe the team that ends up with the ball at the end is going to win this game the way it's going. So far, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns.
Rivas, the quarterback, is the holder in the extra point. The Mustang jumps off sides, gets back on time. And there's the extra point try. It's up and good. And Martinez now 2 for 2. Memorial 14, Weslaco East 14. So we take another look at this touchdown here by Saul Cuellar. Look at him just knife his way through. I don't think anybody even touched him. Terrific blocking there by the Wildcats. And he's in there, and we're tied 14-14 with still 4 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And Mark, wouldn't you want to be the running back in that last touchdown? I wouldn't mind.
I think you or I could have even scored on that play, yes.
I mean, even our director, Raul, could have scored a touchdown on that one.
Even after eating a couple of hot dogs and a cheeseburger, you could still have enough room to squeeze through that hole and get in to the end zone. East 14, Memorial 14. We've got an exciting game here, and both these teams came in tied for 3rd in the District 31 5A race.
And the toughest part of that run by Cuellar was afterwards when his teammates were kind of congratulating him. They kind of actually hit him harder than the Mustang defense on that last play.
So East will kick off from the 40. This is going to be high. It's going to be deep. It's going to be fielded at about the 2-yard line. This is Salazar coming out to the 10, now the 20, and hit right there at the 22, and he'll go down. So not much magic there on that return as he's brought down by the Wildcats, number 42, John Adame.
And I don't know how much time went off on that last possession by the Wildcats, but I do know that the offense for the Mustangs were on the sidelines for quite some time.
Yeah, that time of possession less than 4 minutes. And by the way, a score update in Weslaco. The Mcallen Bulldogs lead the Weslaco Panthers 14-0 after 1 quarter of play.
And it is not the Wildcats, it is the Panthers.
And there's Mustangs with an on-balance line to the right. They'll toss it to Spates. And Spates fights his way up to the 29-yard line. And Spates is having a brilliant night. In fact, Memorial's running game up to 140 yards.
But Mark, actually that was a good defensive play by the Wildcats because the average per carry for Spates is 9 yards, so they only held him down there for 6 yards, Mark.
And now the Mustangs come with a power I left. Spates in the tailback. Jonathan Sanchez, the sophomore quarterback, is going to keep it. Little spin move and trying to get around left tackle and keeps fighting his way forward. Picks up a block from number 70, Brian Velasco, big 300-pound senior. And Sanchez with his first run looks like he has enough for the Mustang first down.
And Velasco is also a captain. A good run by Sanchez, and it's important that Sanchez does a good job on offense too, because that will put the Wildcat defense on their toes when you have to, you have to focus on Spates. You got to worry about Alonso, and if you throw in Sanchez there also, it's quite the 3 players that good offensive players.
Here's a toss to the right. This is Spates, who darts his way in, then back out, trying to get to the sideline, and then forced out at about the 40. And boy, I'm sure Weslaco East was just looked very scary on that one as Spates was darting in and out and dodging tacklers, but in the end held to a negligible gain.
I would think that all defensive coordinators in District 31-5A, when they see Spates with the ball, they might be closing their eyes and just wishing for the best. But on that run, Mark, Trevor Spates, if you keep an eye on him, he's always with his head up, looking all over the place for that possible opening.
2nd down and 3, 7-yard run there by Spates. You almost feel like the defense stopped him on that one. He's had such a brilliant game so far. Here's another man who's had a great game, Joel Alonso, and he gets the first down up to midfield. Alonso with a touchdown in this game, scoring from 49 yards out early in the first quarter. Unbelievable that we're still in the first quarter and we're all tied 14-14. His ball now spotted right at midfield after an 8-yard pickup.
Good defensive play by Gilbert Urbina for the Wildcats. The ball right at the 50-yard line. The Mustang offense playing with a lot of confidence.
5th first down here in the first quarter for the Mustangs. About 2.5 minutes to play. And that's going to be Aaron Vidal going in motion, but they hand this off. It's up the middle, big hole here, deep into Weslaco East territory, and Alonso with another terrific run, all the way inside the 30 to about the Wildcat 29. 21 yards on the run.
Great job on offense by Esparza, Garcia, and Velasco. The left side of that offensive line by the Mustangs.
So Jonathan Sanchez, the quarterback under center, fakes the handoff, now keeps it going left, has some room, ducks a tackler at the 20, breaks another tackle, still going, he has a touchdown. The sophomore quarterback is in there for a 29-yard touchdown run, and the Mustangs have taken the lead for the 3rd time tonight.
We talked about Sanchez now in his 8th week here, the 8th week, growing up fast.
Yeah, a few weeks ago you saw a man who seemed a little unsure of himself, and here's the extra point by Almatis. This is very short, but it's good enough. It just trickles over the crossbar. If it had been any further out, it would have been no good, but he's 3 for 3 on his extra points. Memorial 21, Weslaco East 14. As you see now, Sanchez now a man with a lot of confidence, has a good understanding of the offense. Coach Marcus Kaufman, the offensive coordinator, has really raved about his improvement during practice, and he's really picked it up and is doing an excellent job now leading this Mustang offense, who now leads this game 21-14.
I don't know, Mark, if you notice on the replay, it almost looked like a broken play. It almost looked like he went back there to maybe hand it off, or maybe that's part of the scheme.
I was wondering that myself, as you do see him turn around there and kind of look, and you see just a split second of hesitation as if something's gone wrong, and then he just takes off running.
And I guarantee you, Marco, that all 11 defenders are keen in a Spates, but since Alonso's having a good night, they're taking a look at him. So the forgotten man, Jonathan Sanchez, saying, hey, I'm also dangerous.
We take a look at him on the sideline there. And 3 different Mustangs have scored here in the first quarter. Joel Alonso, Trevor Spates, and now the quarterback, Jonathan Sanchez. That drive, the longest for the Mustangs in this game, 6 plays, 78 yards, and took 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Still have 2:07 to play in the first quarter. We've seen 5 touchdowns. Will we see one more? Memorial 21, Weslaco East 14. And here's a onside kick by the Mustangs. The ball is still loose, and it looks like Weslaco East may have come up with it. But it looked initially like the Memorial had fooled East, but East was able to recover in time and pick up the football, and I think it was number 21, Chase Lopez, who saved Weslaco East from a little embarrassment here.
Mark, that was a perfect call. The Mustangs had an opportunity to recover the fumble, so the special teams, something we talked about in our pregame keys to the game, Mustangs had an opportunity to make a big special teams play, and the way the Mustang offense is going, no telling what could have happened.
Yeah, I like the call because you figure that if this game's going to be an offensive shootout, if you can kind of steal a possession away from East, then Memorial had a good chance to open up a 2-touchdown lead. So a good gamble there, but doesn't quite pay off there for the Mustangs. As we see on this play, Weslaco East running back number 20, who's not on the roster, gets a short gain of 2 yards.
Actually, that's probably the best defensive play by the Mustangs, as they only allowed 2 yards. Because pretty much it's been the Wildcats just gaining yards at will.
Yeah, 2nd down and 8 now. Rivas the quarterback. You see Marriott there in your foreground. They're going to hand this off, sweep to the right side. That's Cuellar, turns it upfield, gets into Mustang territory up near the 45-yard line before he's brought down by the defensive end, Joseph Torres. I think 35 also got in there. That was Derek Alegria
and Torres. So here's an opportunity to hold the Wildcats, even though it's 3rd and 3 with less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. I don't expect the Wildcats to be passing, and why should they if most of their running plays have worked pretty good so far?
Yeah, they've got 104 yards rushing right now. 3rd down and 3, Mustang 45. Rivas wants to keep it, picks up a buck from Cuellar. There's Marriott in the backfield, can't catch him. Rivas has the first down, turns that corner a little bit, forced out of bounds by Garza, but Weslaco East converts on 3rd down for the 3rd time in this game with a 7-yard pickup on 3rd and 3.
And Marriott on a blitz had an opportunity to tackle Rivas before he gained a first down, but I gotta give him credit because he didn't give up on the play and continued to chase Rivas out of bounds.
35 seconds left in the quarter. Rivas will go into the pistol once more with Cuellar behind him and to his left. They hand it off to Cuellar, trying to go right up the middle, but nothing doing this time. So the Mustangs defense has definitely stiffened here on this 3rd possession for the Panthers.
Doing a better job, definitely, but both defenses are going to have to put a string of 3 or 4 plays where they stop each other's offense and see if they can get a punt or a field goal. But so far, the offenses have been incredible in this first quarter.
Saw the Memorial Dance team, the Prancers, there for a moment. This will be the last play of the quarter. They hand this off. Cuellar once again. No, they fake it to him. Rivas has it at the 30, the 20, and he's going to score. Our 6th touchdown of the first quarter happens on the last play, and Rivas has his 2nd touchdown of the night. And Weslaco East, an extra point away from tying it for the 3rd time.
Execution is the name of the game by this offense. What a tremendous fake. I think he even faked you off, Mark. Did he?
He did. I thought Cuellar had the football. And instead, Rivas kept it and goes 36 yards for a touchdown, his 2nd of the night.
But I got to give you credit for the recovery, Mark. You did an excellent job, even though you were faked out.
Even though I was faked out. And Martinez with the extra point is good. It's 21-21 after the first quarter. That's right, 6 touchdowns in the first quarter by these two teams. We have got a good one going here. And after one, the Panthers, or rather the Wildcats 21 and the Mustangs 21. You're watching Football Night at Mcallen right here on MITV.
Of seeing, and I do want to see that play again. And everybody take a look at the hands by Darren Rivas. The ball was actually almost in Cuellar's hands, but Rivas said forget about that.
Yeah, I think
great fake.
It's probably one of those plays where the quarterback has that option. He can kind of put it in the breadbasket of the running back and then look at the defense, and if the hole is there, leave the ball with the running back, or he can pull it back out and take it off and run outside. And Rivas doing a good job there, the junior quarterback, running in from 36 yards out. I think he ran in from 29 yards and now from 36. And it's 21-21 as we start the second quarter.
What an offensive clinic displayed by both teams.
We'll have the first quarter stats for you in just a moment, and it's unbelievable for both these teams. Squib kick on the kickoff, picked up by the Mustangs at the 20. Now run ahead. That looks like Lucas Rios with an excellent return there. He might be somebody they want to think about for offense. Rios, the middle linebacker, the good return there. Gets it up to the 37-yard line.
I will not move Lucas Rios. from the linebacker position. But I tell you, he looks like he could be a potential fullback. Well, let's see if the first quarter was all about the offenses, and let's see if the defenses can make some necessary adjustments.
Here's a handoff to Alonso, the fullback, and he's hit by Urbinas after he crosses the 40. And it looks like a gain of about 5, and the Mustangs will have second down.
Man, I like to see those stats, Mark.
They're coming up in just a moment. They're typing them up as we speak.
They're going to look like first half stats, not quarter.
Yeah, it's something else. Mustangs here, 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line. And now we've got a whistle and a flag.
And Mark, when we post those stats.
Dead ball, false start. Number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
We can take a look at those stats when we see them. Just think about, they could be first half stats, not first quarter stats.
It's like one of those NBA games between the Lakers and Clippers when the score is just 67-67 at halftime or something. There's Alonso dancing his way through on that previous play, but a 5-yard penalty has erased most of that. They're 2nd down and 9 now. They go to Spates now, right side, looking to turn that corner. Does a little bit before he's forced out of bounds. And it looked like the tackle there by 15, Cito Rojas, who I thought was maybe a little bit lucky he didn't get a late hit call there as he kind of threw Spates.
Good call on your part, Mark. I was looking at the same thing. But if you can take a look at Spates, always with his head up. No.
As you can see right there, they're clearly out of bounds.
Right.
And then with the little extra shove there, probably an official probably did give him say a little something to him after that, just to see that he doesn't do it again. Sanchez is going to throw for the first time tonight, throws it, and it's tipped and incomplete, intended for the sophomore DJ Johnson, trying to hit that quick post route. And that's the first pass attempt for Memorial in this game.
And an excellent call by offensive coordinator Marcus Kaufman. Jonathan Sanchez did perfect pass, and I think Mr. Johnson didn't think he was that open. Sometimes the easier catches are the toughest catches.
That's a great shot there. Right at the low angle there, you can see right into the trenches there for Memorial. 2nd down and 10. And this is going to go right up the middle. The quarterback wants to keep it and gets into Wildcat territory at about the 43-yard line.
And Sanchez spotting the opportunity for a quick quarterback keeper up the middle. Good call on his part. It's 3rd and 2 yards to go as the Mustangs are in at the 43-yard line on the Wildcat side of the field.
3rd down and 2 now. First time the Mustangs have faced a 3rd down situation. 10:20 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Mustangs have a wing left and a receiver split backfield. They go to Alonso, the fullback, has room right through the middle and has the first down. Good blocking by Teddy Garcia and Thomas Rodriguez, and the center, Anthony Esparza. Well, taking a look at the first quarter stats, Memorial had 212 yards rushing in the first quarter.
Wow.
212 compared to Weslaco East with 149.
And that's not bad.
And then passing, Memorial was 0 yards and Weslaco East with 46. First downs, Weslaco East 9-7. So a combined 16 first downs there in the first quarter for these two teams. Just a offensive show as we see Alonso get it up to the Weslaco East 31-yard line after a gain of 12.
That actually was Ozzy Salazar. On the previous play, Mark, the ball was not given to Spates, but Alonso having a good night, why not?
And you're right, Ozzy Salazar, the cornerback, playing some offense here. And here's Spates now from the 30-yard line. Lowers the head and pulls his way forward up to about the 23, a pickup of 8 on the play, and a new set of downs for the Mustangs.
And that's another thing I've noticed on film when I'm taking a look at the Mustang offense. Trevor Spates, when he knows that he's going to take the contact, he'll lower the boom and he'll also initiate contact. He's not afraid of contact.
High backfield behind Sanchez. They're going to toss this left to the wide side. That's Spates, cuts it back in, breaks the tackle at the 20, and then up to about the 17-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play.
And even though there's a gain of 6 on the play, good job on the East defense, not allowing Trevor Spates, keeping them within the hash marks, gives you a better opportunity of stopping them because there's more players, more defensive players within the hash marks. So once he gets outside the hash marks, look out.
I'm going to credit Spates with 5 yards. The ball's at the 18-yard line in Wildcat territory. 8.5 to play here in the first half. We're all tied 21-21. Hand off to the fullback, Alonso. Big hole there, and he's going to score. Alonso with a touchdown from 18 yards has his second score of the night, and the Mustangs, for the 4th time, have the lead.
And it's just the battle of the offensive lines right now, Mark. Which offensive line is going to be... How many touchdowns do we have already, Mark? 7?
That's more than I can count. That's, 7 touchdowns between these two teams. Here's the extra point try by Almadas, and it is good. He's getting plenty of work on his leg tonight. He's 4 for 4. Memorial has 28 points. Weslaco East with 21. We take another look at this play. As you saw Spates going outside, they give it to Alonso, kind of almost a counter, running up the middle. And then there was no defenders as they kind of overcommitted towards Spates. And Alonso runs it in from 18 yards out, almost untouched. His second TD of the night, and the 4th for the Mustangs here in this first half.
And actually, the only one that had a chance to make the tackle on that one was the referee.
See the Memorial offensive brain trust there. Coach Marcus Kaufman, the offensive coordinator there on your left of your screens. We take another look at this replay. A big block there by Brian Velasco.
Brian Velasco, the captain. And Mark, that's another play right there where take your choice. Either you carried the ball, I think I have the confidence you would have made it, or myself. Nobody touched Alonso on that play.
63-yard drive there for the Mustangs. 7 plays. And it took them 3 minutes and 36 seconds. And look at these numbers here, Mario. So you were talking about first half numbers. These sound like game numbers. Memorial rushing 277 yards. We still have 8.5 minutes to play in the first half, and 11 first downs already here for the Mustangs in not even a quarter and a half of play. Here's the kickoff fielded by the Wildcats at their own 5. That's Almadas up to the 20, hops his way up to about the 23-yard line. The football came out, but I think they're going to say he was down, and it looks like East was able to recover the loose ball anyway. So Weslaco East keeps the ball at about their own 23-yard line after that kickoff. And by the way, East now going from right to left as teams have switched ends here in the second quarter. And you see as he went down, the ball came out caused by the ground, so he was down, and his teammate fell on it just for insurance.
And sometimes, Mark, it's easy for us to be not very critical of the officials, but a good call right there by the officials, so we need to give them credit also when they do a good job. And, of course, don't tell everybody that I'm actually a sports official myself, so I might be a little biased towards the officials.
Well, you know how hard they work and how much they pride themselves on perfection. Here's a play-action fake by Rivas, going to throw it over the middle, and it's caught for a first down, and he might be gone. He's at the 40. One man has an angle at the 20. Now at the 10. They're not going to catch him. A touchdown for number 6, Gilbert Urbina.
I think we have a penalty, Mark.
Oh, my goodness. And that went for 77 yards. Brilliantly executed there by the East Wildcats, but it looks like it might be coming back. Let's hear Mike Buck's call.
Receiver down on the offense. Covered up receiver.
Oh, boy. I guarantee you, Coach Burkett is not going to be happy about that. He's going to need an explanation, but a gutsy call by one of the officials as Coach Burkett is asking for an explanation.
Yeah, that's a bit unusual. You might see a ineligible receiver downfield, which usually means one of your offensive linemen going beyond the line of scrimmage to throw a block. Usually that'll happen maybe on a broken play where the quarterback is scrambling and it looks like he might run and then throws at the last moment. But that was a play-action pass. He goes back to throw it and throws it relatively quickly. But
Mark,
nevertheless, the penalty.
Anytime the Wildcats throw the ball, it's going to, if they execute correctly, the throws are there. I think the Mustang defense, they're willing to give up the pass, trying to stop the run. And unfortunately for the Wildcats, and unfortunately for Gilbert Urbina, they don't get the touchdown.
Yeah, wiped out a 77-yard touchdown. Brilliant pass there. They go back 5 yards, so first and 15 at the 18-yard line, and Rivas, the quarterback, will keep it and gain 2 to the 20.
And you know, the defenses should start thinking that the first time they have a stop, whether it's the Mustang defense or the Wildcat defense, they can expect a standing ovation by their fans. So maybe that can motivate them to have a stop. It's pretty much like the fans are settled, like saying, "Oh boy, there's nothing we can do. Both teams are going to score back and forth," and they're waiting for the defense to make that big play that we talked about in the keys to the game.
So East on 2nd and 13, 3 receivers right. They're going to go with Cuellar on a sweep right. Picks up some blocks at the 20, cuts in at the 25, across the 30, near the 32-yard line before he's pulled down by the Mustangs linebacker, Joseph Torres. Rather, Torres playing on the defensive line.
And credit goes to Cuellar on that run, but I'm impressed by offensive lineman Ramiro San Miguel, who was out there leading the charge for Cuellar.
3rd down and 1. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd down as Rivas wants to keep it. And looks like the ball may have come out. Rivas was fighting for that 1 yard. He's going to say he was down. And I think they're ruling that Weslaco East maintains possession. And they're also going to say first down. So everything went Weslaco East way on that play. They're now 4 for 4 on 3rd down. They have 10 first downs in this game. We're at the own 34-yard line.
And we still have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, but when they get to halftime mark in those locker rooms, those offensive coaches are going to be happy and those defensive coaches are going to be screaming.
So new set of downs. Pistol formation for the Wildcats. They'll hand this off to Cuellar over the right guard and spins his way up to the 40, brought down by Rios, the middle linebacker. 6-yard pickup there for the Wildcats.
Mark, I think you have an update on the Mcallen Bulldog, Weslaco Panther game.
Yeah, I think so. They're at halftime. That game moving along rather quickly. And Mackay leading 20-7 over the Weslaco Panthers.
Mark, and in that last defensive play, it looked like it was a good play by Rios, but it still was a 6-yard gain for the Wildcat offense.
And the winner of that Bulldogs-Panthers game will be alone in first place with 2 weeks to go. And here, fighting for more yardage, the ball comes out. 3rd time on this drive, the ball has come loose, and the Wildcats have come up with it all 3 times. So the Wildcats living dangerously here on this drive. They pick up 1 yard.
A good defensive play by the Mustangs. Rios again. And it was a fumble. It actually hit the helmet of a player, a Wildcat player. But Mark, that's what happens when a running back runs hard and he tries to gain that extra yard. You're always at risk of a turnover.
The offensive lineman there recovering the ball and keeping the drive alive as we see a timeout now.
Timeout Wildcats.
And that's called by the Wildcats. That'll be their last timeout. With 5:09 to play here in the second quarter, they are out of timeouts. Memorial still has 2 to work with. And Memorial up 28-21 here in this second quarter. Neither team has had a possession that failed to score a touchdown here tonight. Each team has scored every time they've had the football. And Weslaco East has already scored on this drive, a 77-yard touchdown pass that was called back due to a penalty. But they've still kept the drive alive. That started at their own 23. They're up to the 41-yard line, but facing a precarious 3rd and 2.
Mark, for this first half, you can pretty much, if it continues, you can pretty much tell your punter to go ahead and take off his uniform, helmet, shoulder pads, and everything, because it doesn't look like they're going to need a punter tonight unless one of the defenses makes that big play or at least gets consistent within a couple of plays to force a punt.
So East has exhausted their timeouts. Here they come back on a 3rd and 2 at their own 42-yard line. Mustangs, the 4-down linemen, look like they might want to blitz. They're going to toss this right. This is Cuellar, picks up a block from Urbina. Looks like he has enough for the first down as he goes out of bounds right near midfield. He needed only 2 yards. They get it up to the 50.
And simple play to the right, pitch out to your bread and butter running back, Cuellar, who will probably be an all-district first-team running back.
Let me correct myself. They're at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 by Cuellar. They're going to hand this off on 1st and 10. First carry of the game for fullback Ryan Navarro, number 33. And Navarro held for no gain, maybe a yard, as we take a look at this replay. It looks like he was getting a hold of him there, was the defensive end, Osvaldo Calderon. Calderon had already been blocked. He was laying on the ground, was able to reach out and grab him by the ankles.
And a rare gain of only 1 yard.
East up to 177 yards rushing here in this first half. 4:05 to play before halftime. And East is going with a spread formation. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. One of them is the running back Cuellar. They fake it to him, then Rivas wants to keep it, crosses the 50-yard line, and then falls forward up to about the 46-yard line before he's brought down by the Mustang defender, Sam Hinojosa, playing linebacker.
And Mark, it must be something out there that in this game and already in week 8, there's so many missed tackles. That only tells you it might not be just it's missed tackles. It's very good offensive players on both sides.
Yeah, good players, shifty players, good blocks. All of it factors in. And now another third down for East. They've converted all of their third down opportunities tonight. They're 5 for 5. As here they're 6 for 6 with Cuellar with a big hole there and breaks a tackle and fights his way for even more yardage. Safety Garza came up and hit him, but Cuellar able to break that tackle and fight his way down to the 24-yard line.
Hard running by Cuellar right up the middle. Good job by the offensive line, led by the center. And you give Cuellar that opportunity, you know what he's going to do. Cuellar coming into this game with 829 yards. He's going to definitely leave this game as a 1,000-yard rusher.
This drive now over 5.5 minutes old. 1st and 10 in Mustang territory. And Cuellar loses yardage. A brilliant play there for the Mustangs. Sam Hinojosa, the sophomore linebacker, barrels his way in there and pulls Cuellar down.
And maybe that will motivate the defense, Mark, because as I told you, a good defensive play or a stop, and the fans are going to give them a nice round of applause. And they did. Actually, a 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15.
And I think that might be the first tackle for loss in this game by the Mustang defense. And keep in mind, Weslaco East is out of timeouts as clock is running at 2:12 to play. Being primarily a running team, they're not that adept at stopping the clock when they need to. Another fake to Cuellar. Rivas with play action. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Urbina. And Garza, number 20, guarding on that play.
And a 3rd and 15 is exactly what the Mustang defense wants. But the last time they were in a similar situation, the Wildcats had no problem. So on a 3rd and 15, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, their running attack has worked, and their passing attack has looked pretty good, surprisingly. So possibly look for a pass on this play, 3rd and 15.
This will be the 12th play of the drive, and it's gone over 6 minutes. At 3rd and 15, the longest third down they face tonight. Rivas wants to throw, going for the end zone, right side, and it's caught, touchdown! 3rd and 15, no problem for Weslaco East as Tommy Maldonado brings it in for the touchdown from 29 yards.
And of course the touchdown mark is very important, but also very important the fact that the Wildcat offense was on the field for such a long time. The Memorial offense is on the sidelines and they can be getting cold.
Here's the extra point try. And this is up and good by Jose Garcia. And Memorial 28, Weslaco East 28. A minute 56 to play here before halftime. And look at this on 3rd and 15. Rivas goes back to throw. Unleashes it for Maldonado 29 yards away. Hauls it in for the touchdown. Senior receiver capitalizes on the drive, and that was the 13-play drive, Mario, that started back at their own 23-yard line. Saw 3 fumbles on the drive, including on the kickoff, but all 3 of them either considered down by contact or recovered by the teammate.
But with 1 minute and 56 seconds still to go here in the second quarter, and the Mustangs still have 2 timeouts, and the way they've been operating that offensive machine, they still have a good opportunity, because we know the Mustangs, what did it take them in the first possession, Mark? It took them
just 2 plays.
Just 2 plays.
They've had a 2-play drive and a 3-play drive, and I think a 6-play drive.
Anytime you have Trevor Spates on your side, it can quickly be just a 1-play drive within 8 or 9 seconds. We'll have to take a look at this kickoff to see if Coach Burgett is willing to try an onside kick, but of course he would not want to give the Mustangs the ball around the 50-yard line, and I will not kick this ball to Trevor Spates either.
Just saw Spates a moment ago, and his teammate Salazar are back there to receive the kickoff, and this is kind of a squib kick fielded by the Mustangs. Boy, it was like a strong hopper to the shortstop there, but the Mustangs do a good job of picking it up. That's 14, John McGee.
John McGee. And Mark, we talked about special teams. That is a very important special teams play right there. Good job by John McGee. And the Mustangs, they have the ball only 54 yards away from touchdown land.
Yeah, and I don't think that was an attempted onside kick. I think they were trying to squib kick, but McGee getting in the way of that one, and though it was a hard hop, he was able to hang on to it. Mustangs in good field positions. They give a counter play here to the fullback Alonso, and Alonso has good yardage across midfield to about the 48-yard line, maybe the 47 in Wildcat territory.
And that's what an offensive team is all about. You just can't give every play to Trevor Spates. But look for Spates on this one.
So 2nd down and 3 for the Mustangs. They've been consistently getting 6 and 7 yards each time they run the football, no matter who it is. Sanchez, Spates, and Alonso carrying most of the duties here tonight. And now Sanchez wants to throw. Alonso stays in to block as Sanchez now wants to run and has the first down and goes across the 40, the 35, and now inside the 30-yard line. Another terrific run there by Sanchez. And a first down for the Mustangs with 1:07 to play, and the Mustangs call timeout.
And one of the reasons we didn't get Trevor Spates on a running play is because actually he lined up as a receiver. Good job by Jonathan Sanchez. When he rolled out to the left side, he noticed a big wide open space. He also noticed there was only one defensive player in his way. Good decision by the young sophomore.
The Mustangs now over 300 yards rushing in this game. Mario, they came into tonight averaging, I think, 321 yards rushing, #1 team rushing in the district, and they've already got almost that much in the first half.
And I would assume that on 2 occasions they scored over 60 points against those far San Juan Alamo teams. I would assume that they're the only team in the valley that has done that. But boy, the last 3 games, Mark, they've come in here averaging 53 points per game.
They are well on that pace tonight with 28 points right now. That would be a 56-point pace that they're on. But they're still threatening to score here before halftime. They have the ball at the Weslaco East 28-yard line, 1st and 10. They have 1 timeout to work with, 1:07 left on the clock.
But Trevor Spates, once again, is in as a receiver.
Sanchez out of the shotgun, has time, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Spates, deep over the middle. And 2 men back there covering on the play for Weslaco East. Number 3, Tommy Maldonado, is a 2-way player, and 15, Cito Rojas, as we take a look at this replay.
Good protection for Jonathan. The ball just slightly overthrown, but that's okay. They didn't execute. You don't want to underthrow the ball because those are the balls that usually get intercepted.
Now 2nd and 10 is usually a passing down for most teams, but for the Mustangs, that's a running down. Alonso with Sanchez in the pistol. Sanchez thinking about throwing. Now he's going to run with the fullback lead block. trying to turn it outside to the left, and is forced out of bounds inside the 25. That'll bring up 3rd and short now for Memorial, and they stop the clock with 56 seconds left.
There's some new wrinkles by the Memorial offense, Mark. On that occasion, Trevor Spates once again lined up as a receiver. He was not in the backfield, so you knew he was not going to carry the ball. On this play, he is in as a running back, so expect him to carry.
Here the Mustangs on 3rd down. This is Spates having some trouble in the backfield, and Weslaco East stops it. And the clock keeps running at 47 seconds. Memorial forced to use their final timeout to stop the clock. But now facing a 4th down situation.
Timeout of the first half.
Let me tell you about that play, Mark. That's the perfect example of what happens when there's no blocking. You're not, it doesn't matter if you're Trevor Spates, if you're Barry Sanders. If there's no blocking, a running back as good as his offensive line, and Trevor Spates talked about that. Got to give this kid credit. Article in the newspaper. He said the right things about his offensive lineman. And Mark, we also talked about it at the pregame. In our keys to the game, we talked about which defense was going to make the big stop. And right there, it was a big stop, even though it's 4th and 8. They're going to go for a field goal. We're looking at a 43-yard field goal, which can also be a big play by a special teams. 43-yard field goal.
Well, here they go. They'll be on the right hash. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and away. It's high enough. Is it long enough? It hits the upright off the crossbar and fielded by Riojas, who wants to return it, but that's technically out. The goalpost is out of play. He fielded the ball off the rebound, but it struck the crossbar. And David Almadas, who gave it a good go there from 43 yards out, really hit it exactly 43 yards. He needed 43 and about 6 inches more.
Yes, sir. And, you know, we're going to have to remember that, Mark, to see if it's going to come back to be a big key in this game. He had it right, looked like
right down the middle.
And it hit right there, right on top of the crossbar.
And, you know, if it even had been maybe a couple of other inches, or depending on how the ball struck that crossbar, it might have bounced forward and across, and that still would have been good. So that's about as close as you can cut it without scoring. It's right down the middle and then struck the crossbar.
I would think the Wildcats will take a knee.
37 seconds left. No timeouts for the Wildcats as they hand off Cuellar running right side across the 30 up to near the 35, 36 yard lines. Looked like he might have it up for the first down. And the Wildcats, the ball stopped right now, or the clock is stopped at 30 seconds while they move the chains. They're up to the 37-yard line. Coach Mike Burgett all excited.
In his first year as the head coach.
And here Rivas wants to throw. Nowhere to go, being chased. Now he wants to run it. Across the 40, has the first down and more. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 16 seconds left. Excellent running there by Rivas. He didn't panic, and he was able to buy himself some time and then run to the right side. The only thing that hurt Weslaco East there was they couldn't afford to give up a lot of time, and they did as they moved the ball up to the 48. Gain of 11 on the play.
And the Mustang defense is in the prevent defense. They have like 6 players, about 30 yards deep. They'll give you anything in front of you, but they're not going to allow you to go behind them.
And here's Cuellar with a lot of blockers to the right side. Breaks a tackle at the 30, still going, and down caught at the 26-yard line. They just wanted to see if he could barrel his way down the field with the convoy of blockers. It almost worked. They're going to stop the clock with 7 seconds while they move the chains. Weslaco East has time to set up here as the chains have to move a long way. We'll see if they clock it. And now they start the clock. Rivas barks out the signals and clocks the football. Stops with 4.9 seconds left, so Weslaco East will have time for one more play.
Now they'll go for a field goal. Get credit to the first-year coach, the Wildcat coach, Burgett. I thought they would just take a knee and be happy going in 28-28. Forget that. He knows his offense better than I do. And they're going to attempt, by a coincidence, a 43-yard field goal themselves.
Oh, my goodness.
So the way the game has gone, maybe this one will also hit.
Maybe it should be
the crossbar.
We'll see here. This will be number 3, Tommy Maldonado, 31, and this is a line drive, and it's no good. Kicker was Martin Silva, and his is nowhere close. Just a line drive too low, and it's no good. So both teams missing 43-yard attempts there on their last possessions, and maybe it's poetic justice that we go into the halftime locker room all tied. It's Weslaco East 28, Mcallen Memorial 28. We're at halftime. This wild game between the Wildcats and the Mustangs. We'll take a break. You're watching Football Night in Mcallen right here on MITV.